Hello guys, and welcome to another one of my videos on the Project Management Professional Exam. My name is Edward Shihab. I'm a certified PMP and I've been publishing PMP training videos for about 3 years now. Now, as I'm giving my courses these days, I'm getting lots of questions on whether the exam is still based on PMBOK 6 or if it has switched to PMBOK 7. And there's a lot of people and a lot of sources that people are looking at and everybody's confused. So I'm just going to give you my point of view on this and I'll make it very simple for you. I'm going to base my answer on what PMI is saying. So if you now go to pmi.org and you go to the credentials and you click on PMP and you scroll down all the way to the end, there's a link that says what's on the exam, right? You click on the link and what that takes you to is the exam content outline. Open it, it's a PDF, it opens on its own, and somewhere there on the very first few pages it says exam content outline for January 2021. Now what this means for you is that is the same exam content outline that was produced for January 2021. Back then, PMBOK 7 was not released. It was just released towards the second half of 2021. So the exam content outline was written for January 2021, and it is the same one that you would find on the PMI website. This means nothing has changed, okay? And when you go and look at the FAQs, I've looked around on PMI sources, and when the question is asked about which version of the PMBOK we're using for the exam, it clearly states that the exam is not based on the PMBOK. It is based on the exam content outline. All right. So the exam content outline, if you read it, there's nothing about anything later than January 2021. Now I opened PMBOK 7 and I took a look at it, and there's a few sections to PMBOK 7. It's 3 sections essentially. Actually, let me just take a look. When you look at PMBOK 7, there's the standard for project management, right? It has an introduction, system for value delivery, and then there are the 12 principles, right? Project management principles. Those are really nice, the 12 principles. However, I don't think that's where you're going to get your questions from. So, there's nothing wrong in looking at them and trying to see what those 12 principles are. But I don't think that's where the exam is coming from. Why? Because the exam content outline does not state that. It says January 2021. Back then, PMBOK 7 wasn't there, right? So if they want to use content from PMBOK 7, then the exam content outline would have to be updated. And as of this point, the official statement from PMI is saying January 2021 was the last time the exam content was written. All right. Now, the second part and the bigger part of PMBOK 7 is a guide to the PMBOK guide, right? A guide to the project management body of knowledge. And this is PMBOK 7. When you look at it, it talks about performance domains. And there are, I believe, 8 performance domains. And then after the performance domains, you go into the third section of the PMBOK guide, which is tailoring, okay? And tailoring is about 70 pages out of PMBOK 7. Now, I went and I looked at the exam content outline and there's nothing about tailoring. Okay, so that means this was not a consideration at the time the exam content outline was written. So according to me, my own understanding of this, that portion of PMBOK 7 does not count. Okay, tailoring portion, which starts from page 131 of PMBOK 7, does not count. Okay, it's not part of the exam. It's good content, obviously if you want to read it, but it doesn't count in the exam. The second part of the PMBOK guide, which starts from, the project performance domains, if you want to read those are from page 7 of a guide to the project management body of knowledge, from page 7 of PMBOK 7, the PMBOK guide part, right? Because there's 2 parts. There's standard for project management and then a guide to the PMBOK, which is PMBOK 7. On this second part there's project performance domains. There's the 8 performance domains. If you read the 8 performance domains, there is no loss there. There's some gain maybe, but there's nothing to lose by reading it. Meaning that if you have time and you want to read through it, glance through it, there's nothing to lose. You're not hurting yourself. And it's not different from PMBOK 6. All it is it's an add-on to what you have in PMBOK 6. It goes into the same topics of stakeholders, then it goes from stakeholders to team performance domain, which I think is covered in the Agile Practice Guide, development approach and life cycle, which is also in PMBOK 6, and then planning performance domain, project work performance domain. So this is the plan, execute, and then delivery performance domain, and then measurement performance domain. So this is a plan, do, check, and these are part of planning, execution, monitor, and control, right? So they're there throughout PMBOK 6. And then uncertainty performance domain, which has to do with risk management, and that ends the performance domains. So this is the end result, okay? After I looked at PMBOK 7 and I looked at the website from PMI, and considering that I have access to the material that we use, official material that comes from PMI for the PMP training, my advice still stands with what I gave you before on my very last video on how to study in 2022, right? So this is my update as of April. My recommendation is that if you've been watching my videos, the 45 videos that complete PMBOK 6, this is excellent. You're still going to need that. That's 50% of the exam. However, the new exam, because it's only 50% based on that, isn't as heavy when it comes to number-oriented questions. So don't really kill yourself over that. It's nice to know the earned value, early start, early finish kind of calculations. But don't go too deep. You just need to have an idea on these. And if you want to know how much, and you're looking at PMBOK 7, then I think, in the planning portion of it, under the performance domains, you can figure the depth that they need you to go into. So you don't really have to go that deep. I highly recommend on the earned value that your CPI, SPI, mainly CPI, all right, and then cost performance index, and then SPI, and then cost variance, schedule variance. You need to know what earned value, planned value, actual cost. Once you know these things, you got your earned value, and then you need to know the concepts of critical path and so on. But major calculations, don't expect that, and I'm getting that feedback from a lot of people who have taken the exam. So what you need to do again, continue watching the videos for PMBOK 6. They are more thorough than you need for the exam, but perfect, because I go through them slowly, and you're going to go in depth, so your confidence will be pretty good, pretty high. And then after that, you need to read the Agile Practice Guide. Agile Practice Guide has some things about teams, has some things about Agile, how we work in the Agile framework, in the Scrum framework, and the concepts of sprint and so on. I made another video that was titled, 100 Things You Need to Know Before You Take the Exam. That video is super important. Go through it after you've read the Agile Practice Guide. So continue watching PMBOK 6 videos, all 45 videos, then read the Agile Practice Guide. I did not make a video on that one. And then go watch the video that says 100 things you need to know for the exam, and look at those 100 keywords. If you don't know what any of these keywords mean, Google it, all right? They're easy to find on the internet. You do not need any PMBOK or any other source. Just Google them on the internet and you're fine. You'll be able to find them. Once you've done that, you're educated enough for the exam. That's all you really need to know, right? If you feel you want to read the 8 performance domains in PMBOK 7, you can, because that's more of a refresher of what was in PMBOK 6 and the Agile Practice Guide. That's not going to hurt you, and it's not a waste of time, but it's not essential. Just look at the comments of people that have watched my videos. Some relied mainly on the PMBOK 6 videos and they were able to pass. Some did that and read the Agile Practice Guide and they were able to pass. So the content has not changed for the exam. It is still that. All right, it is exactly that and has not changed at all. So go ahead, watch those videos, read the Agile Practice Guide, watch that one video that says 100 things you need to know before you take the exam. Google whatever you don't know. Those 100 things, I pulled them from the training material that is used, that is provided from PMI, and those are the keywords that are in the material. So if you know all these keywords, you really don't need official training from anyone, and you can have a good deal of confidence in facing the exam. If you want to test how much you know, I have a set of 5 mock exams on Udemy that I'm providing free to members. It gives you access, free access to the 5 full mock exams, 900 questions. You can practice with these questions and that should elevate your level of confidence. And that's all you really need to be able to face this exam. Beyond that, everything that you hear out there about PMBOK 7 is not true. And to verify it yourself, just every now and then go to PMI's website and look at the exam content outline. If it still says January 2021, then it has not changed from what I'm telling you now. That's my update for April 2022. Good luck on your exam. Keep watching the videos. Let me know if you have any questions, and hope to see you on the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.